I'm going to ask you to define transformation in light of the diamond and the whole system transformation methodology together, briefly.
You would repeat the diamond conversation at each level of the organization. You start at the top because that's where the influence is. All eyes are at the top, and if they're not, it's an organization out of control. Even if it is a totally democratic run organization, the person in charge has to have control over the democratic process and not allow any individual faction to take over or manipulate things or what have you. So that it is a top-down teaching situation where the same thing is taught. It is a self-replication. My formula for that is what I call total. Teaching others the teaching of authentic leadership.
Wow, total. That's profound itself. That's a whole other tape, right?
Yeah,
that's beautiful.
Teaching others, I sign all my papers that way. Teaching others the teaching of authentic leadership. Leadership is something that means you are alert, aware, mature, and that you teach that or you help people learn that and to apply to your organization. And the 4 principles of what we call the outer diamond, out of the 12, the central principles, are really 4. One is you've got to have the courage to walk the talk.
Yes.
You have to have the courage to walk the talk.
And that is the number one issues that executives have. They don't walk the talk. What's the second one?
Well, before we go to number 2, we have to help people deal with me when I walk my talk, you see. I may be a difficult person to deal with when I walk my talk, and part of my responsibility is to help you to deal with me under those circumstances and realize that you don't have to deal with me. You're an independent person that has to be immediately respected. But if there is a financial transaction, then I pay you. If I'm running the company, I'm paying you, or the company is paying you, and you owe the company something in there, and our relationship is financial. But that's an ethical relationship. It's a trade-off. Money means a great deal.
Tell us about the ethical part of the diamond.
Well, strictly speaking, you have to go through the whole thing. But you start with making the decision as the free agent to walk your talk, to feel that you are there with your body mind, you're there. You feel that without being naive about what that does to other people. Now, the first act of courage that you are expected to make is to make the decision to be a decent human being. Be a decent human being, whatever that means. We call that ethics. But it's a complicated thing. We have to talk about that. What does it mean to be a decent human being? Sincerely a decent human being. That's a tough one. But it has to be addressed. And just addressing that issue is transformation in itself. Once you have taken your courage to make a decision to be a decent human being, then you face reality. And reality is your biggest problem. Business is the language of successfully addressing the transformation in reality, to change reality. It's not business only, it's politics, it's NGOs. How can you have influence on the world if you take the courageous step of being a decent human being? How can you impact the world? That's now really tough. Manipulation, techniques, service, what have you. So the reality is your ultimate issue in business, how to manage that. And that shows up mostly in either results alone or in business, in how are you doing financially. And also in having jobs. There's one more to go.
Vision.
And that is vision.
Tell us about how vision fits in.
And vision puts it all together. Vision puts it all together. The courage, the ethics, the reality. Where are you going? Quo vadis means, it's an old biblical term really, although it's a Latin term. Where are you going? Where are you going in life? What are you going to do with your life, knowing all of these facts that we've talked about right now? That's your biggest question. To what are you devoting your life? And the word service is very important here. The word service to something that really matters is an extremely important word here. I'm service to the degree that I make a commitment to the client who pays me for either this therapeutic hour or pays me for my wisdom or whatever experience or my labor. But the person who pays me money, I owe that person something that is expressed in that absolutely important commitment that is made to me. And when I make that commitment, I take the act of courage, but I have to be a decent person in the process. I have to be able to face reality, which is how do I operate in this particular business? And I have to have the vision of knowing where we are going. What are we trying to do together? What are we trying to achieve? What is our purpose? Those are all big questions. But getting to talk about them in this context is magic.
It's magic. Yeah, that's what whole system transformation comes in. And what you just did there, it's to summarize very beautifully the diamond so that organizations can begin to sparkle and increase their value and worth. And everybody wants to have them on their finger or as a diamond shining. So now,